Okay, well, good morning. It is Monday, the 19th of June, and we are just checking out of our hotel. It's 20 past 5 in the morning, and we're starting our second part of the journey today. So we're going to go downstairs, check out. Now, this hotel, I will include this on the end of the hotel video because this one I'm having to put together once I get home. Just push the button. Overall, quite impressed with the hotel. Very good night's sleep. Position of the hotel is great because we're not that far away from the two main markets here in Hua Hin. A little bit of a souvenir there from the market last night. Um, and yeah, the room's comfortable, the air conditioning works really well. I had a good night's sleep last night, even though we were quite late. Yeah, maybe later in time because we originally planned to get back to the hotel early, but we ended up being a little bit later because we found an area just 5 minutes from the hotel, just over the back here actually, and it's got like lots of little market stalls you can buy food from. They got live music on, there was some bars there, so we ended up having lots of food and drink and staying there a little bit longer than we anticipated, which was a great area. I've got to say, there's some bars with girls working in them just to the one side of it, and then the actual main area is great for families or couples or whatever because that's a separate area, but it's seemed really good. So overall, very very pleased with this hotel. And that's over there just checking out now, getting her deposit back because you have to leave the 500 baht deposit for the room, for obviously the key card and things like that, so pretty standard. And we're going to jump in the car and we're going to be heading towards Bangkok, but we're not going to Bangkok. So I'll speak to you very, very soon. Okay, so we're on the edge of Bangkok, driving on the expressways around. I'm not going into Bangkok, I'm going around it. A lot of building here, as you can see with the motorways. They're improving these roads because they are very, very busy. It's coming up to 8 o'clock in the morning, so quite a bit of traffic. The Google Maps that we're using has taken me off the road only to bring me back onto the same road. So, but I don't know Bangkok and I don't know where I'm going, so we have to follow the Google Maps. Hua Hin was a nice experience yesterday. We had a very pleasant afternoon after a very rainy start, but Hua Hin is definitely a place to go and take a look at. Very similar to Phuket in a lot of ways. Price wise, I didn't find it that much cheaper than Phuket, I'll be honest, but of course I don't know Hua Hin. I'm sure there are some places where you can go and eat that's not too expensive. I had a look at a couple of pizza restaurants and the prices was sort of anywhere from 300 up to 700 baht, so not really any cheaper price wise than Phuket, because Phuket's average price for a pizza is around the 300 baht mark. So, but it was a nice experience, a lovely beach there. The accommodation was really nice and comfortable in a great location. It was close to the shops, the bars, the markets, everything really, so really nice. Today we're headed up towards Mukdahan, which is on the Thai-Lao border, and I will either be crossing over to Laos today, depending on what time we arrive, or first thing tomorrow morning. It just depends on the traffic here in Bangkok, because as you can see it's very busy. That pans round and shows you the motorways. We're only on the edge at the moment, we aren't quite into Bangkok, we're just coming into it, but there is a lot of traffic because it's Monday morning, people going to work. I was expecting that, so we left quite early this morning, not quite as early as we left Phuket, but we've had a good go at it because we've still got 686 kilometres to go to Mukdahan. So I will speak to you shortly. Well, welcome back. We've just arrived at the bridge crossing, Friendship Bridge 2, that takes us across into Laos. This is at Mukdahan. We've parked the car up behind. They do have some secure parking. It costs 250 baht a day. Now we're going to be over in Laos for 2 days, so we've paid 500 baht. There is a cash machine here, just there. Yeah. What? Okay, that's loaded up with bags and cases and everything, because of course I've got the camera, so it's a little bit difficult to film with the camera and carry all the suitcases and luggage. So we're just coming up to the Laos border now, or the Friendship Bridge, and we're going to make our way down here. I'm going to stamp out. Nat's going to fill in necessary forms to go across. Now you can take a vehicle across, but you need a green book. So if you've got the green book to the vehicle, then you can take the vehicle across, but you obviously need to do all the paperwork and what's entailed with that. So we're not taking the car across because we don't want the hassle with the paperwork. We've got enough to deal with without adding that as well. Nat did have a quick look. It doesn't look too bad, to be honest. You can manage or not? Yeah. But we decided against it in the end. But we're going to go in, see what we need to do now, and I'll be back to you shortly. Okay, so we've hit a slight problem. Nat's just gone in to do her paperwork, and because her passport has just expired a couple of months ago, which we knew about, but you don't need a passport to go into Laos. Obviously, Thai people can do it with their ID card, but unfortunately, if you haven't got your passport, you can't use your ID card to go across the border after 4:30, and it's just gone 4:30. So we've now got to wait until tomorrow, basically, before we can cross over the border in the morning. I can go because I've got my passport. Nat's bought a passport, but unfortunately, it's 3 months out of date. It just expired, and she didn't want to have to make a new passport just to go into Laos, so she's not bothered. So a little bit of an hiccup. So we now got to go back to the car, see whether the lady will refund us for one night, because we can't stay here 2 nights, and then we'll have to go into Mukdahan and stay one night there. Okay, so we're going to quickly take a look at the room that we're having to stay in tonight, because we couldn't cross the Thai Laos border today. We've got to do it in the morning. So we've booked into the same brand of hotels that we stayed in Hua Hin, which is the B2 chain. And we've got a double room 302. One thing we have noticed, this room doesn't have a safe. The one that we had in Hua Hin did. It's got a mini fridge, and we've got the bathroom off to the right hand side. This was 550 baht. No, so WC, and then shower. The bathroom's quite nice actually. It's not too bad at all here. Mirror, basin, and then we have the double bed. It's TV, get Wi-Fi as well. Air conditioning on the wall, which is on, and a reasonable sort of city view from the window. And this was 550 baht. So if you're coming to Mukdahan and you want to book into a hotel, you just want one night, then this may be suitable for you. There's the air conditioning unit up there. So, but just remember, this room doesn't have a safe. Just bear that in mind. Well, good morning. It's Tuesday the 20th of June. We're just checking out at the hotel and getting ready to go up to the Friendship Bridge number 2 that crosses over into Laos. This is the hotel that we stayed at yesterday, which is called the B2. So it's the same brand of hotel that we stayed in Hua Hin, and I have to say again, comfortable night's sleep. Nat mentioned the pillars was a little bit hard. There she is, look, she's just checked out. But apart from that, a nice hotel. It's got quite a lot of car parking, so it goes all the way around the hotel, so there's no issue with park. And as I say, we're going to have a second attempt at crossing the border today, because yesterday, unfortunately, Nat went online, because we haven't been for a long time, watched a YouTube video, and they said on the YouTube video the Friendship Bridge is open from 6 in the morning till 10 at night, which it is. However, what they failed to mention was the fact that you can only go over it at those times if you have an actual passport. Because Nat's passport has just expired
2 or 3 months ago, she can go across using her ID card, but not at those times, only between 8 o'clock in the morning and 4:30. So we were like 10 minutes late. We just missed the online because they have to do something online, and it closes at 4:30 and it doesn't open till 8 o'clock in the morning, and this is what caused us the problem. So this is something to bear in mind. With YouTube videos, sometimes the information is a little bit hit and miss. Unfortunately for us, it caught us out, but it's one of those things. We're going to have another try this morning, but now we need to go straight to the Thai embassy because I've come to Laos to renew my 12-month visa. I'm making a new non-O visa under marriage at Laos, and I shall be doing that very, very soon. So once we get to the bridge, I'll come back to you and I'll guide you through what we have to do to go through the bridge at Laos, but it is quite straightforward. So catch you very, very soon. Okay, so we've just arrived here at the Friendship Bridge. We've got to wait now for this building to open. This is where Nat will make her entry stamp basically into Laos. It doesn't open till 8 o'clock because you have to do it if you have the ID card online, and the online process doesn't start till 8 o'clock and then closes at 4:30. So we're waiting for this building to open. Then once we've done that, we shall go to the building behind me here, and we shall go through. Obviously I shall stamp out with my passport and that will go through her procedure, and then you get on the bus, which you have to pay for. So remember to get a bus ticket before you go and queue up for the bus, because you don't actually pay on the bus. These little things, they can save you a lot of hassle and time. Like yesterday, we didn't know about we knew the bridge was open from 9 till 10, but we didn't know that you could only go with the ID card from certain times. Passport, you're okay. So that caught us out. So these little things can save you a lot of hassle. So you need to get your bus ticket before you go and queue up for the bus, because if you get on the bus and you don't have a ticket, you're going to have to get off. The bus won't wait for you and it'll probably go, and sometimes it can be quite a long wait. They don't run every 10 minutes. No, I'm fine, sweetheart, you can have the seat. So we've got a little bit of a wait, about 40 minutes for this building to open, because we've come early, because obviously I need to get to the embassy on the other side quite sharpish. I was hoping to be there in Laos yesterday, so I didn't have to rush, but we're going to have to get a taxi. I'm hoping that we can get across this border by maybe 8:30, 8:30, and get to the embassy for 8:45, because the embassy in Savannakhet does get quite busy with foreigners like myself going to make visas, and unfortunately the embassy doors close at 11 o'clock. So if you're not inside the actual embassy itself by 11 o'clock, then you can't make it until the following day. So the embassy stays open all day, but they close the doors at 11 AM, so you need to be inside by that time, so you can't hang about really. But I'll come back to you once we've sorted Nat's online process here at this building, and then once we get further inside, I'll come back to you and give you an update. Okay, so I've now stamped out of Thailand and we're on the bus. We're just about to leave and cross over the bridge. So we're just leaving now. Now the bus tickets were 50 baht each. And we're on our way to Laos. I shall speak to you again once we arrive at the other side of the bridge and pass through the Laos immigration system.
Good morning. Yeah. Good morning, Savannakhet.
Okay, so I'm just now waiting for Nat to come through immigration. I went and got myself an e-visa, so it made it a little bit quicker for me. So you pass through a separate desk. I didn't film that because they're a little bit funny about filming in the immigration area. I'm just literally on the, so you can see I'm just waiting for Nat to come down here somewhere. Okay, no problem. Okay, well, the man's just told me to stop filming. Okay, so we're through the immigration here in Laos. One of the guys came over and asked me to stop filming, so I had to stop filming him there. They're a little bit funny around filming around the immigration. We're in a taxi now and we're on the way to the Thai embassy. It isn't far. I had to pay 100 baht entry. I don't know what that was for, because as far as I was aware, the e-visa covers everything, but I wasn't going to stand there and start arguing with the immigration guy, because the last thing I need is a problem with immigration coming into Laos, because I need to get to the embassy. I didn't have the time to argue it, and it's just 100 baht. We've jumped into the taxi. They're charging 150 baht each, so it's 300 baht from the bridge down to the Thai embassy. So once we arrive there, I'll pick it up again. Okay, so we've just arrived at the embassy. There is a little bit of a queue in front of us. It's just after 8:30 in the morning. There are people sitting down behind this bush here, so there's a little bit of a queue, but not too bad. Hopefully we can get in before 11 o'clock. I can't see that us not being able to be honest. Nat's just across the road. He's just popped over to, there's a shop over there to make photocopies, because of course the only copy I haven't got at the minute is the entry stamp, and of course I couldn't do that until you actually come into the country, because they stamp you in, and then I need a copy of that for my visa application. So she's just coming back. Hopefully she's got a copy of that. And we're now waiting for the embassy open. I think it's around 9 AM they open, and then we shall see how long we have to wait for all the details that we okay, yeah, and that's what you basically need is that. So the entry stamp into Laos, and obviously you're going to need a copy of your passport, the data page, and depending on what visa you're making, obviously you're going to need different paperwork. I'm actually making a non-O visa under marriage today, so that's what I'm going there for. So we're going to give in the papers. You need a marriage certificate, Nat needs house book, copies of her ID, obviously, copies of her passport, etc., and her ID card. And yeah, once the embassy opens and we get it in and sorted out, I'll come back to you shortly. Okay, so we're out of the embassy. The embassy opened at 9 o'clock and it's just 10 o'clock now, so it's taken me an hour to do it with a little bit of a queue in front of us. It wasn't too bad. We're now jumping on a tuk-tuk to go down to the hotel. The tuk-tuk from here to our hotel, which is actually in Savannakhet, has cost 100 baht a person. So it was 300 from the bridge to the embassy, and then another 200 from the embassy down to the hotel. Pretty straightforward. There wasn't too bad a queue this morning, I'll be honest with you. I was expecting it to be worse than that. Wasn't we, Nat? We was expecting it to be worse. Nat?
Huh?
Oh, my head. I said we was expecting it to be worse, the queue. Yeah.
Not much.
Not too much today. So a good day to come is on a Tuesday if you need to come to the embassy in Savannakhet, because on a Monday it's very busy, and a guy that we was talking to this morning also said Thursdays can be very busy. Now online I read that Wednesdays was also a busy day, so maybe Tuesday is the best day to come if you're going to come to the embassy. So we're heading now down into Savannakhet to our hotel, and then once we get there I will show you the hotel, which we paid I think it was 400 baht for the night, but I'll double check that and let you know in a bit to make sure, because I know how people like to make sure on the prices. So not too bad, and I'll speak to you very shortly.